Good day. I'm Herbie Gomez, one of the desk editors of Rappler and the regional coordinator for Mindanao of Rappler. Well, Mindanao is divided into six administrative regions, and that includes the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. That's a 5-year-old region. Okay. Uh, this region has long struggled with underdevelopment, largely due to um, a political conflict, decades of political conflict, political dynasties, warlordism, clan wars, crime, and violence. Issues that continue to challenge the current push for reform and growth. Now, it was supposed to have an election in its first parliamentary elections in 2022. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it was moved to 2025. And as the filing for certificates of candidacy started this week, on the same day it started, Senate President Cheese Escudero filed the Senate bill, which seeks to uh, delay or postpone it until 2025. And we just learned that the House of Representatives followed with Speaker Martin Romualdez filing a bill, and it was co-authored by someone from Mindanao, Lanao del Sur First District Representative Zia Diong, which the bill basically mirrors what Cheese Escudero is saying. Now, to make us understand, to contextualize what's happening in the BARMM now, we've invited Mohd Asnin Pendatun. He is the Cabinet Secretary of BARMM and at the same time the spokesman of the regional government. Good day po sa inyo dyan sa BARMM, sir.
Good day, magandang umaga, Herbie, and thank you for inviting me here.
Now, okay. Diretsuhin ko na po. How is the BARMM Regional Government taking the proposals in Congress to postpone the elections?
But as mentioned, there are now separate tracks in the Senate. SP Escudero passed the bill. At kanina nga lang, we've known that House Speaker Martin Romualdez also submitted the bill, essentially rescheduling the first parliamentary elections of the BARMM to 2026. So it's a 1-year postponement of the elections. Some of the reasons cited, Herbie, were pertaining to the Supreme Court decision excluding Sulu from the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Meron din po mga nabanggit na iba pang mga arrangements that needs to be done para ho ika nga ay 100% tayo prepared for the first parliamentary election. Some of these relate to the 63 barangays previously of North Cotabato who opted to join the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao during the 2019 plebiscite. The latest status is that we were able to create 8 municipalities out of the 63 barangays. Meron na rin po itong mga officers in charge, the mayors, vice mayors, members of the Sanggunian that have been trying to do their work to prepare the local government units for the first parliamentary election. Now, in the proposed bill, the reason cited is that currently wala pong province na created out of these 8 new municipalities. Wala din pong congressional district that was created out of these 8 new municipalities. Essentially saying also na hindi ho sila makakaboto ng kanilang governor at ng kanila pong congressman or representative in the House of Representatives. But all others, they can participate. Pero yun lang, yung meron pong 2 layers of governance na hindi ho ika nga makakapag fully participate yung ating newly created na municipalities. And this is also one of the cited reasons in the bills, no, postponing the elections from 2025 to 2026. In broad strokes, we understand. We understand the reasons behind it. We see the reasons behind it. But on the part of the Bangsamoro government, we leave it to the collective wisdom of the both houses of Congress kung ano po yung sa tingin nilang mas nararapat at mas makakabuti po sa atin pagdating po sa ating democratic exercise. But on our part, since wala pa pong batas na ipasa, and this is still being processed, we continue to work with the assumption that there would be a first parliamentary elections next year, and our preparations will still based on the assumption that we will have our first parliamentary elections up until meron pong batas na magpo-postpone nito.
So I'm sure you've been discussing these matter with the Chief Minister Alhaj Murad. Ano pong sabi niya? Does he welcome the proposals in the Senate and the lower house?
He understands yung pong the reasons behind it. Yung mga dahilan, for example, na yung sa Supreme Court decision ho kasi that excluding Sulu, in the parliament, we have an 80-member parliament in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. 50% of that, meaning 40 seats, are for party representatives or party seats. 10% of the 80, in other words, 8 seats ho, ay para naman dun sa mga reserve seats natin. These are for the sectors such as women, non-Moro indigenous peoples, Christian settlers, youth, ulama, traditional leaders. Kaya ako may reserve seats dahil based on the previous experience, ito pong mga sector na to ay nahihirapang makakuha ng representation. Out of the 80, meron po tayong 32 rather. Meron po tayong 32 na members of the parliament, the district representatives. Okay? So essentially, for all intents and purposes, para po itong congressional district na yung ating pong mga kababayan sa BARMM ay boboto ho ng kanilang direct na representative based on the parliamentary district na kinabibilangan ho nila. In the province of Sulu, based on the electoral code at saka yung sa redistricting law ho ng Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, meron po tayong 7 district representatives in the province of Sulu. Dahil ho doon sa Supreme Court decision, ito pong 7 na district representatives ay hanging ho yung status niya sa ngayon dahil hindi pa po natin na re-appropriate. And at the same time, you're still waiting for the final judgment of the Supreme Court base na rin ho doon sa mga motions for reconsideration na naisubmit ng mga party to the cases at iba pa pong mga stakeholders. So the leadership understands kung bakit ho may ganitong klaseng bill, proposal ngayon, postponing the elections. But again, the position is that we leave it to the sound discretion and the collective wisdom of both houses of Congress. In any case, kung magtuloy-tuloy man po yung election next year, we are prepared and we are ready for the conduct of first parliamentary election. Yun nga lang po.
Sino po ang mga nag-file ng motion?
The party to the cases, such as Attorney Alga Marlatif at Mr. Pendatun Disimban, they filed a motion for reconsideration because they are party to the cases. Yung Office of the Solicitor General, we understand na meron din pong motion for reconsideration na final. Technically, the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or the Bangsamoro government ay hindi po party to the cases na binalangkas ng Supreme Court. Pero gayon pa man ay nagpadala din ho tayo ng ating pong intent to intervene at saka yung motion for partial reconsideration. Meron din pong iba pang mga members of the parliament na nag-submit din ho ng kanilang motions for reconsideration. So we are looking at least 5 na mga MRs po ngayon na binbin sa Supreme Court following yung po kanilang naging decision on the constitutionality of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or the creation of it.
Ano po ang sentiment ng Bangsamoro government when you learned about the September ruling of the Supreme Court to exclude Sulu?
Mixed emotions, Sir Herbie. On one hand, we are glad that the issue of constitutionality were put at rest, put into rest, because nabanggit doon sa Supreme Court decision that the creation of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, yung manner of electing, yung pagkakaroon ng parliamentary form of government, yung pagkakaroon ng chief minister, and essentially all other aspects of the organic law are deemed constitutional by the Supreme Court. But on one hand, tayo po ay lubos na nalulungkot dahil dun sa Supreme Court decision din ho na iyon, it was mentioned that yung pagsali sa Sulu in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao ay hindi ho dapat ginawa. And this is born out of the plebiscite results noong 2019, kung saan yung pong plebisito sa probinsya ng Sulu, nanalo po yung no. 54% po yung bumoto ng no sa province of Sulu, 46% lamang yung bumoto ng yes sa probinsya ng Sulu. But during that time, Sir Herbie, ang understanding ho kasi is that ARM will vote as one. So despite of the no votes ng province of Sulu, ay naratify pa rin ho yung organic law and they were included in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region.
Dahil armed sila. Dahil
Because
originally.
that's one.
Okay. Okay. Now,
But
I just learned that a group called the League of Bangsamoro Organizations have called for another plebiscite, especially for Sulu province. Is this possible?
it is possible.
And practical, meaning legally, and is it doable at this time?
It's possible in theory, but given the time, mukhang it's not that doable in the near future. But I think the reason behind the call is that to ask the right question or to ask that question given the current context. Kasi kung matatandaan ho natin noong 2019, even during the build-up for the plebiscite, there was no mention of a no vote, meaning that your province will be excluded. Okay? Ang question for the whole ARM that time is that whether or not we ratify the 11054. Okay? So, and that they will be treated as one vote, yung pong probinsya, yung lahat ng areas in the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. So the electorate that time, yun po yung alam nilang implication ng pagboto ng yes or no. Okay? Liban ho doon, it's been 5 years since then, no? Since the BARMM has existed. Context is essentially different because previously we were doing the information education campaign, we were doing the preparations for the plebiscite with promises that the BARMM is a better option than the ARMM. That the BARMM will be a tool, no, to address the development gaps in the region at yung mga historical injustices. These were based on promises, no, based on what the BOL brings in paper. Ayun, may 5 years na nakapag-implement ng programs, projects, reforms. So kaya ho siguro yung panawagan ng mga civil society organizations is that for province of Sulu is that we could ask them again, baka this time mas clear, no, kung yung ano yung implication ng yes and no, at meron na rin pong mas konkretong makikita based on what we have done, no, since 2019, since nag-start po yung ating transition period.
Yung may isang issue pong na-raise ngayon is about the voter literacy in the BARMM. I understand dun sa MILF camp in Maguindanao del Norte, there was a forum, I think, last Monday, and the participants were asked, etong mga first-time participants ito, first-time voters, tinanong sila, iboboto ba natin yung chief minister? And a lot of them said yes. So, do you see that a lot of them, a lot of your voters are still unclear about the structure of the BARMM? Kasi kakaiba po, hindi ang nakasanayan natin general elections, no? We elect our officials at large. And during the October 1 to 8 filing of candidacy, yun yung para sa general elections. The mayors, the governors, the senators, okay? And then, pero sa BARMM kakaiba. Because you're going to have two sets of
ballots, essentially.
Gusto nyong i-explain. Give us a BARMM 101.
We've been doing the information education campaign in partnership with COMELEC and other stakeholders. But admittedly, based on our observations, kailangan pa nating patasin yung antas ng understanding ng ating pong electorate as to the difference between the previous elections at ito pong upcoming elections for the BARMM next year. Gaya na nabanggit nyo, it's different because yung general elections, it's largely based on individual, on personalities, right? In the BARMM, the chief minister is elected by the parliament, right? So hindi ho yung tao o yung electorate po ang direktang mag-e-elect ng chief minister. The electorate will elect the members of the parliament, and the parliament will elect among themselves kung sino po yung magiging chief minister. Although in the past, conduct ho nga po ng mga iba't ibang conventions din ng mga parties, napansin natin na mukhang mas personalities pa rin yung focus as opposed to the platform of governance, no? As opposed to, for example, yung mga plataforma ng party. Okay? Kaya ho, yun yung challenge on our part is ipalaliman pa yung discussion with our electorate na yung bobotohin ho nila is members of the parliament, the party, yung district representatives, at sila po yung boboto ng kanila pong mga magiging chief minister. Isa pa ho sigurong dahilan din, Herbie, bakit ho ganun ho yung understanding so far is that they are equating kasi that a certain party, if the certain party or party A dominates or will get the majority of seats, alam na nila kung sino yung magiging chief minister dahil may mga pronouncement na rin yung ibang mga parties saying that, publicly speaking, that if we will win the elections and we will have the majority, the chief minister will be this person. So, alam na nung publiko, so parang na-equate tuloy that a vote for Party A is essentially a vote for Chief Minister A. And a vote for Party B is essentially a vote for Chief Minister B. So, yun yung kailangan lang ho nating i-unpack pa with our electorate and through our IEC campaigns. Ayun yung mas bibigyan ho natin ng focus.
In other words po, itong originally, before the Sulu, the ruling on Sulu, 80 members of parliament ang seats na available for 80 people. For district representatives, iba po ito dun sa district na congressional district like si Adjong, House of iba yon. So in the BARMM provinces, meron ding parliamentary districts aside from the congressional districts. Tama ho ba?
Tama.
And then merong sectoral representatives, women, youth, etc., the IPs. And then you have the party representatives. So all in all, 80. And then we ima-minus natin yung 7 from the parliamentary districts of Sulu. Tama po ba?
Tama po yan.
So what do you intend to do with under this present, itong situation na to, anong nakikita ninyong solusyon dun sa 7 na kulang? Because the law says 80, di ba? So, paano yun?
Ideally, Herbie, the one course of action is that we reappropriate the 7 district seats na originally intended for Sulu to the other areas of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Although doing this would take a lot of time kasi hindi siya simpleng magdadagdag ka lang ng isang district seats. For example, here in Cotabato City, we have 2 district seats for the parliament. If you're going to add one, it's not as simple as just adding one more district seats. You need to carve out certain barangays from District 1, certain barangays from District 2 to create another district, District 3. At ang naging proseso nito matagal, no? It would require consultation with the stakeholders, the affected barangays, at yung legislative process in the Bangsamoro Parliament would also take time. There was a pronouncement before, but saying essentially that given the current laws that we have and the preparations of the COMELEC also for the next election, the elections can still push through. But we will have a situation in which we will only have 73-member parliament. Kumbaga, in other words, yung 7 ay hindi ho muna gagalawin, hindi rin ho muna pagbobotohan. One, dahil nga hinihintay pa yung final judgment from the Supreme Court, yung response sa motion for reconsideration. Pangalawa, yung lack of material time na rin to do the process of reappropriating the 7 districts in time for the first parliamentary elections scheduled on May 2025.
Now, can it be done by without, meaning if the Supreme Court doesn't decide on or upholds its decision on the Sulu thing, can the redistribution of the districts be done by 2026?
That would be there would be a time to do so. Dahil babalikan yung mga districts na currently ay na-formalize na. They will just have to do another round of consultation with the stakeholders in that district. Yung naging timeline din naman ho dun sa pag-create ng 32 parliamentary districts in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, from the first stage to the consultation and to the eventual passage of it, it took 1 year. Yun lang, admittedly, medyo naging heated yung debates, no? Naging talagang masalimot, ika nga, yung discussions in the parliament because you're talking about the picture of how the districts will be set up. So maraming mga interest, maraming mga stakeholders that really said their piece pagdating ko dyan. So kung iririduho natin yon, we will be looking at around mga ganung period ho.
Okay. On that note, Minister Minister Pendatun, salamat po for squeezing us into your schedule, and good luck po sa inyo at sa BARMM. I know you're a busy man, so maraming salamat po. Unless you want to say something else po.
Thank you.
Announcement kayo.
Thank you for this opportunity, Herbie, to explain sa ating pong mga viewers and readers yung pong importance ng preparations for the first parliamentary elections of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Kakaasaw kayo that we will be doing our part to ensure that we will have an honest, credible at saka peaceful na elections in which inshallah mataas po yung voters turnout po natin. Thank you for this conversation.
And then for those nakikinig po at who are watching us, and if you want to continue the discussion, you can download the Rappler community app and go to the chat channel. So thank you po.
Thank you.